Yeah, I came back to my computer just for us to go live again. Hey guys! Really bad technical issues. So we're going to start over and try again. We have 3 people using their phones, and I might have to resort to going back to my phone, because I was on my phone briefly. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's Google being weird or everything else ever falling apart, but this is Bibliomancy for beginners. Welcome.
Stress on the for beginners part.
Yeah.
3 seasons later, woohoo!
We've been doing this for a while, and yet I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, because we couldn't even get through that without me crashing. So, Gretchen, who are you?
I am Gretchen Homeyer from the blog My Life is a Notebook. I am on my phone, and so I apologize. I probably look really terrible, but I am here, and so I don't care. This is the book this week. Angelfall is my pick, and like I said in our failed video, you should really go back and at least watch the last 6 minutes of our Emily Carroll episode, because I lose my mind. Notice I didn't swear there because Michaela hasn't done her swearing warning yet. And so, yeah, I feel really strongly about YA, so that, that could come up again.
It was an excellent talk. We would all recommend it.
Yeah. We have a guest who's been on before. Like I said last time, Anna, if you want to introduce yourself to folks.
Hi, I am Anna. I run the blog The Dungeon of Bad Decisions on Tumblr. I am here because I am, for some reason, friends with these people for several years now, and this is my second time guest starring, and I don't attend school with you guys anymore, but I'm an education major now. But we're focusing in English. Technically, I'm an English major, because you're not allowed to major in high school education. It's complicated. Anyways, I'm going to be ideally tutoring high school. You know what? Fuck it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I do that. Gretchen, why are you sideways?
I moved my phone briefly.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hi, guys.
I'm just going to be... Sorry. I'm just going to be here in the corner, occasionally interrupted by my cat, occasionally meowing at him. Sometimes he meows back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Michaela from the blog The Piper Calls.wordpress.com. I'm doing the Booktubeathon this week. I read this book today without putting it down, so it counts as my challenge of reading a book without letting go of it. So I read it in one sitting.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
so
thanks for that, friend. Yeah. So if you're doing the Booktubeathon, tell us about it and what books you're going to be reading.
The book what?
Booktubeathon. It's a readathon where you try and read as much as you can based on several different challenges during a week.
I have probably fulfilled like half of them by accident. I have too much time on my hands.
Taylor, messing with his phone. Who are you?
I'm Taylor.
There we go.
All you need to know.
Antithesis of Gretchen, I guess.
He's my arch nemesis, guys. If there is screaming tonight, it'll be his fault and directed at him.
Sure.
Yeah. That sums it up, yeah. Yeah, moving forward.
Okay. Today, like Gretchen said, we read Angelfall. If you haven't read the book yet, we always give spoiler-free recommendations before we talk about the book in detail, and I will read the Goodreads description for you so that you have an idea of sort of what the book's about, so that you can know whether or not you want to read it or not. Let's see if I can get through this time.
Hang on. I have to close the windows.
Okay.
Move, cat. Move. Move.
Okay.
Anna, be quiet. Michaela, you can read.
Okay. It's been 6 weeks since Angels of the Apocalypse descended to demolish the modern world. Street gangs rule the day, while fear and superstition rule the night. When warrior angels fly away with a helpless little girl, her 17-year-old sister Penryn will do anything to get her back. Anything, including making a deal with an enemy angel. Raffe is a
Raffe.
warrior. No.
Yes.
Is a warrior. No. Who lies broken and wingless on the street after eons of fighting his own battles. He finds himself being rescued from a desperate situation by a half-starved teenage girl. Traveling through a dark and twisted Northern California, they have only each other to rely on for survival. Together, they journey towards the Angel's stronghold in San Francisco, where she'll risk everything to rescue her sister, and he'll put himself at the mercy of his greatest enemy for the chance to be made whole again. Bum, bum, bum.
Catbot!
Now we're going to do our spoiler-free overall impressions. I might as well say there's going to be swearing. There already was swearing. There's always more swearing. I really should just start this episode with, hey guys, welcome to Bibliomancy for Beginners. There's going to be swearing.
I'm sorry.
Gretchen, what do you think of this book?
Okay. So what I was trying to say last time before my internet shat itself was that I probably would have loved this book back in 2012 when I bought it the first time. Yeah, I'm a little bit older and jaded now, but why does Michaela look so terrible? Why? What is frightening you?
Nothing. Keep going.
Okay. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I just there was some things about the writing that hurt me inside, but it was her debut novel, and for a debut novel, I found it a really good start. And I'm sure I haven't read them, but I'm interested in reading the sequels to this because I'm sure that they improve, that her writing improves, and the story was already interesting. So, yeah.
Okay.
Without spoiling.
Anna, without spoiling, what did you think?
Can I swear, though?
Yeah, I already said you can swear.
I know, I'm making a joke. It was a bad joke, I'm sorry. Yes, I liked it. I read it over a month ago, so I'm a little bit hazy on... I also read it at night in one go, after, no sleep. So I'm a bit hazy on what it was actually happening, details-wise. I've got a few recollections, and I don't remember anything on the sentence level. I liked it. I would definitely read the sequels. And there was something else that I was going to say, but now I can't remember what it was.
Last time you said that it would be great for your sister.
Right, my sister. It's great for, 16-year-olds. 16-year-olds who are into that whole angsty, apocalyptic Angelfall deal. Who, burn through shows like Witches of East End and Supernatural and all those fun things.
Okay.
But when you're in your 20s and you're in college and you've been subjected to, Aristotle and Socrates, after, this sort of seems like something you would have read when you were 16. So not exactly the best of choices. It's all right, but it's not the best choice you've ever made.
Okay, my turn. I was not a very big fan of it. Like I said, I read it in one sitting, so the pacing was decent enough. I wasn't too much. But it made me roll my eyes a lot, and the only part that I actually thought was really creative was the end. And I'll talk about why I liked that when we get into spoilers, but that was the only part that I felt really stood out to me from anything that I've ever read before that had to do with most of the tropes in this book.
As I said in our very brief last attempt, I enjoyed this book at very few points, was frustrated at many, and kind of just bored by a lot of it. The things I did like, there were several moments where I was actually really getting into it and really interested and curious. And this is more about the thoughts of whether angels get Netflix in heaven, which apparently they do. So that was at least involved.
I forgot about that.
So the things that I did like did not actually belong in this narrative and were frequently forgotten about, brought in occasionally, and never brought to a payoff. So that frustrated me even more. Because the things that I did enjoy were just swept under a carpet to follow the formula of a YA novel, and I think that was the greatest shortcoming of it.
Okay.
The greatest
Disclaimer.
shortcoming of the YA novel was that it was a YA novel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there will always be a problem.
Like I said, this is a book club. We're going to be discussing the characters and events of the novel. If you don't want to be spoiled, you should probably stop watching. But if you want to join us for our next hangout and have read the book already, we have a Twitter, a Vine, and an Instagram where we post and talk about what we're going to be reading next. And I actually made a video as a primer for our next book club hangout because I picked book number 17 in the series. So I made a video where I talked sort of about the world and the characters that you would need to know before going into this book to try and get you up to speed. Despite the fact that the book is probably perfectly fine on its own. I worked really hard to find one that stood on its own plot-wise. But if you want it, it's there. And our Twitter tweeted to it, so go follow the @Bibliomancy101 on Twitter. Okay, favorite part, Gretchen.
This is another weird book for me because I usually don't focus on characters. I'm usually very plot oriented. But I just really loved how, and it might speak to the kind of books that I've been reading lately, but there hasn't been a lot of interesting characters, and I felt like, unfortunately, with the exception of Penryn and Rappy themselves, who are the main characters, but everyone around them was so fascinated. Up until the end, I was more creeped out by her mother than I was by anything else that was happening, and I was like, what is going on with her mom? And then there's Dee-Dum and Obi, and I'm really fascinated by her mom, but I really enjoyed reading about the side characters, honestly, more than I enjoyed reading about the main characters. But yeah, I was just I was really excited about how a lot of them were really interesting to me.
Welcome to how I feel about how Orange is the New Black. Everybody's interesting but the main character.
Yeah. So that's not a favorite part. It's just every time her mom did something, I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anna, how about you? Did you have a favorite part or a most memorable part since you read it so long ago?
Yeah, okay, so Sumi, I didn't expect it to come in that fast. The ending, as you said, was definitely very, very good. It was very, very vivid for me. The thing, it was just the whole thing, and with her sister being the what the hell did they do to her? I don't even fucking know.
They made her razor teeth, I can tell you that. That was described several times.
That was fucked up, man. The scorpion baby things, the fetuses and the tanks. I loved the wings though. The wings. Just every time, the intense visuals of the wings. I loved that. With his new wings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Space.
Celebrity wing swap, you mean?
Fuck you.
Razor bat wings.
I liked the wings with the fish hooks. I thought it was cool.
You need to start explaining your laundry schedule to your new wings. Everyone watch on ABC.
What?
Wife swap, wing swap.
Oh! That was lame, man.
I found it
Laundry
funny.
schedule?
Anyway, my favorite scene was the description of all of the children, Frankenstein children, not the fetuses with the scorpion tails, the sea of bodies that were turned into weird cannibal children. The imagery of that was really strong for me. It reminded me of Jeepers Creepers, which is my favorite B horror film. So I enjoyed that. very much. And that I was like, okay, that was creepy and like well described. Good on you guys. That I enjoyed.
I would definitely agree that that scene was well described. I found the scene was lessened for me because it didn't really know what it was doing with them. Like,
Yeah, it was weird.
there was no real reason for there to be a giant pile of children with swapped teeth, especially in a room that was entirely dominated by a completely different project. I'm gonna have to agree
Yeah, I
with
didn't
that.
understand the way that room was set up. Like,
I figured that they only had so much space.
The novel didn't understand either. I'm going to agree with Gretchen, though, because the moments where I most enjoyed myself was with character descriptions, also the mom. I'll get into that with favorite character, though, because I have more to say on it.
okay. Least favorite part / rant. Gretchen.
Okay, I'll lead into this with just, oh god, the writing in some spaces. Like, there was one part where she was like, and I was disappointed by the thing because it did this, and I was disappointed, and I was like, ow. Ow, like, how
And
did... Oh
they were
god, wait a
waiting.
minute.
I just need to go back to my Twitter feed because all of my gems are right there.
Oh god, I was just like, did no one edit this book? I don't
No.
understand. There was
It's
just
Amazon
so
Publisher.
much... Oh, okay, I didn't even, I just, oh god.
So no, it wasn't technically edited in the same way that we expect things to be edited.
How do you
Well,
mean?
it shows. Wait, Michaela, did you say something?
No.
that was for me.
Ow. But
Yeah.
so much pain. I can't even express to you just sentences where I was just like, oh, no.
What sentences like he was fast and furious, or and her spine snap crackled and popped while she tried to stand up. Those types of sentences.
When completely straight-faced.
Not trying to be puns, just there.
I wanted to like this book so much. Like I said, there was a lot of really interesting ideas in it, but the execution was just so far lacking. I was just like,
Yep. So, Gretchen, waiting to cross the checkpoint.
Kind of in the middle of a YouTube
That was used 3 times in half a page. Quarter of a page, actually. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is why I'm just like, she actually did spend a lot of time on the 2 sequels, and I'm just like, because I do want to read them. I do like the idea, and I like the setting, and I like the characters. I'm just like, please have let this have gotten better. Please let this have gotten better.
Ah, shit. No! My headphones!
Well,
Why is her default reaction to scream at everything?
I don't know, but it is.
I'm sorry.
Anna, do you have any?
There we go.
Are you okay over there? What's happening?
Gretchen, do you have more to say?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm just gonna leave it there, because like I had like lukewarm problems with the book. I didn't really have any rants, and I know that you and Michaela are like, rant. So.
Yeah, I just need to choose which one I think is the most important.
Anna, do you have any rants? Do you remember anything that bugged you?
I don't. I mean, I like I said, I read it all in one go, so I didn't really have time for an in-depth read. I didn't really notice any of the Fast and Furious or Snap Crackle Pop bits. And I certainly didn't notice any. I have a vague recollection of the use of the word disappointment twice in one sentence, and I feel like that would have hurt me, but I'm not sure that I'm just. What do you want? Excuse the cat. He's an asshole. No, I don't really have anything. I mean, it was a good book. It was not the best book I've ever read. The ending was especially creative, but nothing about it especially pissed me off. What?
I guess I'll start with the thing that jumped out to me the most right away, which was, you guys loved the mom. I did not like Penryn's view of the mom. The whole description of crazy mom, hearing demons. There's literally angels attacking you. Like, why would there not be demons? Why would you not believe that? Why would you assume she's crazy? I don't understand your logic here.
It wasn't about that. It was her mother's conception of demons.
And I also thought that a lot of Penryn's problems with her mom came from the fact that she believes that her mom is the one that paralyzed her sister.
Oh yeah, so there's that too.
Yeah, I read it just do a lot of that.
I mean, it's difficult growing up with a parent who's not taking their place as a parent. But she's not when you're being more of a parent than your parent is.
Right, I understand that. That's also a trope. Like, it's a super tropey of parent who is acting as child, so older child has to take care of parent. I got that. What I didn't understand is why she completely discounted her mom, saying that she spoke with demons.
Because her mother said that she spoke with demons before the angels happened.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But the angels are real, which is why wouldn't those exist?
Because
she never really had a moment considering, well, maybe something happened, except at the very end when she's like, maybe mom didn't break her legs, but that's the one thing that probably did happen.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that being real, but, like, that's just what I'm saying, is, like,
that does seem like
you have the moment of angels being real, wouldn't you think the counterpoint be, demons are also real?
Yeah,
maybe
but why
mom was right.
Why
because Belial shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I'm making excuses for her, but really, I'm just she portrayed a paranoid schizophrenic with a decent amount of accuracy. But her daughter didn't,
which was fine,
show nearly as much understanding of paranoid schizophrenia as I would have expected. That is something that did bother me. And there were some bits.
Oh, crazy mom! I just gotta tug on her leash and have her follow me around.
And there were some bits where I was not a fan of her portrayal of paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah. Second thing, the whole thing at the end where the demon is, like, laughing at the male lead for falling in love with the female lead. Like, you were told so many times not to fall in love with humans. Did you push her away? Oh, you silly goose, you! Oh! I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Of all the things we need to sit through.
What is happening?
You know what? Can I just say something really funny, though? I went ahead and I started reading reviews of the sequels because can't get my hands on them right now, and I don't have the money to buy them. And I was reading a review of the third one, and they were like, you know what I didn't like? How they put off, like, any kind of real romance scenes until the third book. And I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
They wouldn't have a romance. They haven't had a romance. I didn't understand why he suddenly cared so much about her, because I can...
It's not
if it weren't for the bad guy going on a rant about the fact that this guy might have been faking that he didn't like her, he honestly didn't seem like he liked her.
Nope.
Like, the only thing that made you... Like...
I would have been so happy if at one point Raph goes, you know, I've gotten used to having you around because I've been watching my own back for so long. And I really could have seen them developing a true friendship based on the fact that they've each had to stand up for themselves and then being able to have that other person that they can kind of depend on. And I was like, for a long time, I was like, yes, this is great. Like, I know you're eventually going to be romantic, but, you know, you have
friendships.
Yeah, friendship can happen before you kiss each other.
Goddamn asshole cat, move.
Anna, be quiet. It was actually a relationship of mutual respect for a while there. Like, they both showed each other some, you know, like, props. And that was kind of nice. But the issue was, every time the book tried to do something differently, it was just pulled back into the YA.
Yeah.
Like, any chance they had of actually being friends was ruined by the fact that this is a YA novel.
Hold on. Can we stop that right there and say not that it is a YA novel, but rather that it is a trope-tastic YA novel? Because there are plenty of YA novels that don't fall into this, and
Absolutely.
that upsets
I'm
me.
using it as shorthand. I apologize for the generalization made.
Yeah.
I will continue to say YA, probably, but just let me know, it is shorthand.
Yeah. Rant number 3. How do you not notice somebody's tying demon wings to you instead of your own wings?
He was unconscious. I thought they made it clear he was sedated.
Yeah, I thought that he was unconscious.
Okay, if he was unconscious, sure, great. How did he suddenly become fallen because of that? Like, oh, his body went, oh, these wings are demon wings. I must be a demon.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Wait, what? I thought it was just that everybody's outside perception was that he was a demon because he had demon.
He couldn't
wings,
lift
not
his
that-
sword
He
anymore.
couldn't lift his sword anymore.
It canceled out
Yeah,
his
that
aura.
doesn't make any sense. I forgot about that.
It didn't make
His
any
aura.
sense.
Hold
His
on.
body was just like, oh, this is what it's like to be a demon. I
Awesome.
get it now. This is what I am.
Maybe
Can
his
I
sword has
bring-
has appearance issues. I don't know.
Can I bring up a minor side rant of my own? Because this is a nice transition, Michaela.
Okay.
What I want to know is why he had to go information gathering on who would be able to reattach his wings when Raphael is the archangel of healing.
Oh yeah, that is a point. That is a point.
There's no knowledge of this. No
Apparently
one
he
told.
forgot.
No one
And
told.
apparently all it takes is crudely stitched on stitches to reattach him. He totally could have had that done in a field by a field medic. Like, anybody could have done that.
What a
Because
nerve.
not only did Layla have time to suture his wings back on, but she also had time to put the wings on Belial, like all in the short span of time that she's rescuing her sister. And I was just like,
An hour. Which we know is an hour, because she's told she only has an hour.
Yeah. She also did not take very long to betray him. Although I couldn't really be surprised, as she was already described as Aryan multiple times by our protagonist.
Oh yeah, that was kind of heavy-handed. A little bit heavy-handed.
Michaela, do you have more rants?
Nah, you can go. I've had mine. We're
Okay.
fine. I have more, but they're not important. It's just going...
Because I'm going to get back to that Aryan thing. First off, I would like to start on a light note on angels should not be wearing clothing. Because clothing goes back to the fall of man. And angels wearing clothing is entirely a blaspheme against God's wishes.
Yep.
Belial, he can wear suits all he wants. The fact that angels having fashion that just happens to coincide with 1920s, because, there's nothing so fetishized in our recent memory as 1920s Art Deco, which was said many, many times. In case you forgot, the furniture was Art Deco, guys.
It was Art Deco.
I sort of skimmed over those bits.
Side note. No. What I really do, more than just at any time we would discuss the mom, she would immediately be dropped from the narrative because we need time for these two protagonists to simmer in their own company and be all sexual tensiony, because if the mom's there, being an interesting character, that's not going to work. So she just keeps showing up in more and more outlandish and bizarre situations to the point where I just gave up trying to believe any of this. No, I want to discuss the representation of women in this novel. Because from first-person perspective of our protagonist, who is in fact a female, every single girl is horrible. And they all wear makeup, they all smile like ditzes, and they all stroke their hands across Raphael's body just to show we aren't supposed to like them. From the camp with the military, we have this D-dumb setup for, a cat fight, and as dumb as that is already, we have this. The girl shows up wearing perfect mascara in the apocalypse, stroking him, laughing, all, perfect. And so naturally we are supposed to hate her because she is an airheaded, pretty girl. She is the popular cheerleader. And then we don't have an after the fight, which I thought we would, where she is revealed to be like an actual intense person using makeup to, gain an advantage in these sorts of situations. No, she's just dropped from the entire narrative, meaning all we can take away from this scene is that the pretty ones are evil, because that is what has continued throughout this novel. Throughout that one in the club.
Except she's pretty at the end, the main character.
Yeah. But she is pretty in a way that she was always above it.
Oh god, this is all not like I'm not like other girls. That's the entire narrative. I'm not like other girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then the female angel at the end, is immediately described as, blonde and pretty and Aryan. Aryan. Meaning we can never like her. There's no chance in this narrative that we are supposed to like this person. We're supposed to distrust her simply because she is pretty. And the reason I have an issue with this is that this is not a narrative saying you are not attractive to the protagonist because you want to, you want to fight, you want to wear jeans and a sweatshirt. No, this is her saying these people don't wear jeans and a sweatshirt, and I am going to judge them for that. And we are right to judge them because they are all apparently terrible people. I was very frustrated by this.
When Taylor had come to me to say that, and I had said it would have been different if it was, I feel pretty without it, and I don't need it, but by turning it from that to they're evil because they use it, and I'm better than them because I don't, it becomes women attacking women, which is not good. As opposed to just, you have your own thing, I have my own thing, we're different people, that's fine. It's more of, you are superficial and evil, and I'm real and deep and sincere and all of these other things.
I'm regretting not rereading this book before I returned to the library, otherwise I might have caught that.
Yeah, and what was the thing in this book that actually bothered me. Like, other things I can laugh about, I can still have a good time with silly random things like Deedum going from being 2 characters to just 1 and never acknowledging that the second one is absent.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was a bit weird. Where's his twin?
That was just dumb and funny for me.
I guess in my head, I just sort of imagined that it was just the twins randomly swapping out, and she just couldn't tell the difference.
Which would be fine, I guess, but it's
that sort of my imagination
changed to a single character.
Just 1. So yes, the gender politics on this are what actually are something that I'm not going to be able to laugh off while reading this, because that just bothered me. Because it was reaffirmed many, many times. Mark.
Mark, jeans are better than you.
Yeah. Are you okay? Can I read some of the things that Casey wanted to say, even though she's not here?
I'm done.
Some of you guys who've seen our other episodes will know Casey, especially if you watch our Pendragon episode. She was supposed to be in this call tonight, but she was feeling very ill. It's also why we're postponing our Pendragon talk until tomorrow. But she sent me a really long message, like, scrolling and scrolling of, like, her thoughts.
Of course, we're not going to bring in her favorite part, but now that we're ranting, don't
No, I'll read the favorite part now. I just realized that I hadn't been reading it. So, Casey said her favorite part is, I love everyone in this story who isn't the main character, which we have talked about. Penryn is inoffensive in the same way Katniss is from the Hunger Games, and makes a decent functional narrator, bland but sympathetic enough to get the job done. The sweet, innocent little girl that the older sister must martyr herself for works as a plot device, and the ending reveal of her as a monster/beast not only adds all sort of interesting moral dilemmas, but is a clever twist on the trope. Ditto for the mom that's basically a child. Giving her schizophrenia not only allowed her to slip into and out of the plot when convenient, but was just a really interesting decision. Like with Paige and the mom, I liked how even things that are kind of cliched had reasons that made sense in the world. Obi, Josiah, and Deedum are all interesting people who I ended up caring about way more than Raffe or Penryn. The world he builds up is the most creative, but it's well thought out. Isn't the most creative, but it's well thought out and has a lot of interesting layers that make me want to read the sequels. Seriously, what the hell is up with those demon babies? She wants to say, also, did anyone else think the book would make a great video game, or was that just me?
That did not occur to me.
Okay, here's her rant. I don't know what it is about so many YA novels that the breeding pair are always so boring, but it seems to be a trend. Basically, every time we met someone new, I wanted to follow them and leave stupid, bland Raffi behind. Obi not only makes a more interesting love interest, but reading about that revolution sounds so much more fun. Spy mastering would make a compelling story on its own. Josiah's backstory better be a bigger part of the later novels, because not only would we learn more about angel culture, the most interesting thing these books have to offer by far, in my opinion, but he sounds kind of like the scary red-eyed version of Captain America, and that would make an even better video game.
Right, Josiah! I liked him! I forgot about him.
That's the albino one, right?
Yes, yeah, the guy with the scary eyes. I liked him. I wanted to know more about him.
It was cool. Can we just stop and... Obi is not an acceptable love interest. He was middle-aged.
No, he's really not. He's like twice her age. It's not an acceptable love interest.
Don't look at me, it's Casey.
No,
Casey, weird pedophilia. Casey, stop.
No.
She is technically a minor, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's 17.
Okay,
that could be legal in California. I don't know.
I think she's 16.
If Obi was her age, I agree entirely.
Yeah. They're not.
Or if Penryn was Obi's age, whichever, I don't care.
Then again, Raph is... Wait, are we considering this...
Hundreds of thousands of years old.
Yeah.
Are we considering this
technically
within,
that's even worse.
Time range? Like, are we considering him 6,500 years old?
Yeah.
Or are we considering, like, millions of years old?
He's like, whatever, thousand millions of years old, but he also has the sulkitude of a teenager, so...
He's got all the emotional maturity
of emotionally a teenager, so it doesn't
technically
matter.
it's not really like...
Vocabulary of a teenager as well.
When you've got an immortal being, it's really more judging by emotional maturity than actual physical age.
Creepy.
You're creepy.
Okay, so here's what the rest of her rant, talking about the other guys being anything more interesting than Raffi. Instead, we get friggin' Raffi and the endless parade of sexual tension. I don't mind the romance because I've learned to expect it, and aside from a very rushed transition from animosity to love, it wasn't badly done. But could she have fallen for a less interesting guy? He smirks, he's witty, he's so beautiful he makes babies stop crying, he's cold and distant, but occasionally has moments of worth to string our heroine along. We've seen this guy in every single book ever, and he's boring! Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate him or anything because he wasn't interesting enough to hate, but every scene with just the two of them in it dragged on for years and messed with the pacing and made me think longingly of all the stories we could have been following instead. Really, it just seemed like the book was too good for a character like Raph to be such a major focus, and he was shoehorned in because everyone loves a sexy brooding vampire.
Isn't he an angel? Sexy brooding angels now!
The point was that it's basically Edward Cullen, I think.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of Edward Cullen, too.
Casey, I miss you. I love you.
She hit, like, all the nails on the head.
Yeah.
Except for the whole I'm not like other girls nail, which is, as Taylor pointed out, a very problematic nail. It needs to be pried out and thrown away.
Yeah.
And maybe burned and possibly bombed.
It's got tetanus. You don't want to touch it.
I've had my shots. I can wear gloves. I need to get rid of it. It needs to go away.
This is a side thing, but I do have a question for you guys, because this was very confusing for me.
Okay.
At the end, we have the implication, through conversation, that Belial was one of the ones that chopped off Raffi's wings, right?
I think they said that he did it explicitly, I think.
They all had angel wings.
No, wait a minute. No. Uriel was part of that nonsense, wasn't he?
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Uriel's... Oh, wait, never mind.
I don't remember.
Demon, is he?
Uriel is an angel.
Uriel is an archangel. He's one of the people. He's one of the
Yeah.
people trying to get the role of messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Michael can't be bothered to leave the army, and Raphael's like derping around, being
Falling in love
sulky.
with humans, being a sulky teenager.
Forgetting that he's supposed to be in charge of healing things.
Yeah. Also,
Forgetting his purpose of existence.
was it ever explained how an archangel was,
Easily
hunted?
defeated.
The reasoning behind why he was allowed
because
to
they
hunt.
thought he was a threat. The other, Uriel and whoever else wanted to take over the angels, take Gabriel's role, and since Raphael was the next in line, even though he didn't want the role, everybody else was like, well, why don't you want the role? I must kill you and get you out of the way so I can have the role. That kind of deal.
But if that's just a minor power play, it's not an official thing. They can't be that obvious about it, and also just not kill him. If that's the case.
Apparently they can.
It was just very odd and contrived.
Other
I don't know.
question.
Yeah, there
Just
were a
came to
lot
me.
of parts of the background in the book that are kind of contrived. When you hold a magnifying glass to it.
Uriel was the one who was doing the weird science experiments in that basement, right? How is that not against the will of God? How is
Well,
that?
since God's not really around, I don't think anybody
I think,
cares.
but that's how Raphael can go out and be like, yeah, I'm an angel, but I'm agnostic, because he's like, I haven't seen the actual will of God done in a really long time. Which was an interesting concept. I will say that,
Then
an
who's in charge
agnostic
of who
angel.
falls and who doesn't? Somebody has to be in charge because people have fallen.
Yeah.
No, but obviously
Gabriel
that's
did
not a thing though right now, because they were like, aha, I'm just gonna suture some demon wings onto your back, and now you're the fallen angel Raphael, and we're just like,
Huh?
but
I think that you should fall for breaking the will of God and making somebody else a fallen angel, and that's not your role. It's not your job. You can't do that.
Very
No,
bizarre
can I
that
say
all
something?
these experiments were going on.
Yeah.
I didn't
Can I say
understand how it fit into the world.
Aside from wearing clothes, actively tampering with things that God created, that seems slightly more offensive.
Or
hold
something
on, wait,
that's
Anna wants to say
given-
something.
Okay.
Anna wants to say
Guys,
something.
the whole God being not here. There's a reason my lower third says gratuitous supernatural references. That was an entire, 2 seasons of Supernatural, was looking for God. Because God wasn't around, and the apocalypse was being orchestrated by the angels because they got fucking bored. That's literally what happened. Because Supernatural's a terrible show and you should not watch it, and it will steal your soul and tear it to shreds. But, my point being is that Gabriel was the only one who communicated with God. That's part of the reason everybody wants the job, is so they can talk to Daddy again. All of these angels have just massive daddy issues. That's literally what's happening here. What?
And
And my point being, some of them are being assholes about it and, cutting up humans and wearing clothes. Because Daddy's not home anymore, so we can
Mhm.
Well, I mean, can I just say, like,
and our older brother who used to tattle on us to Daddy is no longer around.
well, because, not that this book is anywhere near the caliber of Paradise Lost, but I bring it up only because when I read that book and read it last semester, we had that whole debate over, does God control anything, or is God just omniscient and therefore doesn't control anything? And this book is obviously taking the camp of, God knows all, but therefore, he can't do anything about it because it's just rolling along. And that's what that was interesting for me to think about it that way, because usually when, you involve God somewhere, it's like, and I have the power to smite you and you and you, and this book was basically saying, no, God's just kind of there with no actual tangible way to grab onto our world.
Mhm.
And just let
In
it
which
roll.
case, I'm going to treat it as a magic system, and the magic system is inconsistent.
Well,
Within
yes.
this book is how I'm going to be treating
Or
it.
at least
If I
out
read
of-
a book with a magic system and it was doing shit like this, it wouldn't stand.
Yeah.
I'd be
I
so
feel like there was
frustrated.
more to be explained in the sequels, is why I accepted it, is because it was obviously setting up for a sequel, so I assumed it was going to be explained. It was one of those things that she was going to
Well,
continue
that's no excuse because
stringing along.
these are things that we don't understand in context. And while it's a cool idea that God's absent, if we don't actually understand, like, it's well enough to
Hold
just
the phone.
oh, what?
God is actually real because I'm about to agree with Taylor.
Take it away, Gretchen. I was floundering for a sentence.
No, because, like, no, I got that, and I was like, because you have to be able, even in a first book, you have to be able to understand the world. The entire purpose of a first book, especially leading into a series, is to set you firmly, strongly, and squarely in the world that you'll be inhabiting for the rest of the books.
Yeah.
And if this simple, because, I mean, you're dealing with angels, archangels, demons, obviously using the whole biblical calendar and not really altering it all that much, you have to be able to explain these things, and you have to be able to make that consistent.
Your
And
Bible fan fiction has to make sense,
Yeah.
basically.
So that's
These
what I'm
things
saying.
about the Nephilim, and then we find these bodies that have been chewed by human teeth, and then when we get the payoff of that, it's children whose teeth have been replaced by razors. And that is not consistent, and we never have these things connected, because they don't actually connect. They're just similar ideas. And if this is a place trying to make scorpion-angel hybrid things, we should actually talk about it if that is something, because that is interesting, but if it's just thrown at us, it doesn't mean anything. We don't have any reason to read deeper into it because it doesn't seem interested in that. And that's
I don't know. I still feel
disappointing.
like it was. I still feel like she was trying to string it along into the rest of the series. Like,
I mean, I definitely agree with that as well. I was willing to give her a lot more slack than Taylor would, because I did, like, believe in the concepts and the ideas. But if we're talking about this as a singular entity, which the job of the first book in a series, like I said, is to set us in the world, it didn't do it very well. And I mean, it gave us
the best word.
No, it gave us a really cool concept and idea and a really cool story and some cool characters who could come back to us. But there are a lot of questions that should have been answered.
Or at least should have made more sense when you set them up.
Yes.
Or at least
Set up-
should have
they set up
remained
the-
consistent through the book itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, the questions might not need to be answered, but when the book starts contradicting itself, that's where problems start doing. Because, like,
Well,
I don't
it's either
mind
that or it's
being
just
left
creating
not
more
knowing
questions.
why they're doing. I don't mind being left not knowing why they're doing the weird experiments. What I don't understand is how there aren't consequences for that. Because my understanding would be, you go against the grace of God, you are a fallen angel. And doing something like that seems like it would be, one, not only just directly in, like, just being wrong.
Okay, but has anybody fallen since Gabriel died?
Well,
Nobody had fallen, so...
I'm not saying whether God has to, like, smite them or if it's, like, an instant magic thing, because, like, Raph apparently can turn into a fallen angel just by having wings sewn onto him. And or we assume, and or maybe his love caused it? I don't know.
but it's just things happening because
Okay,
the
but
story
here's the thing about that, though.
Go ahead, Gretchen.
I'm not sure Raffi actually became a fallen angel. I think that Uriel's whole, like, plan was to say he clearly is fallen, and he was like, I don't, the whole thing with the sword kind of makes that kind of weird, but I don't think that he actually fell. It was part of a whole plot to say that he had fallen and make it seem like that was true.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I understood. The way that Uriel was talking, that's what I understood.
So basically to disqualify him from running the messenger, basically.
Go back to Michaela's statement. Like, we have things like that, but then, like, with the experiments, there's no consequences. There's no one really acknowledging it in the sense that these things just happen independently because it's too much effort to put them within an interlocking framework. It's like the resistance having no trouble getting into this place. They just show up there, and Dedum is apparently just immediately a waiter there because the narrative needs it to happen.
Yeah,
and there will only be conflict if it serves the narrative, and if it slows things down or complicates things, reasoning is just going to be dropped.
Yeah, well, I mean, but Raph needed to get disqualified because of his men. I think Josiah, who talks about it earlier, is saying that, like, even though Rapid abandoned them, his men were still standing up and supporting his claim to be messenger. And so Uriel had to completely disqualify him, and that was the thing with the wings, was to not to show God that he was, a fallen angel, but to be to his
other
men.
angels.
Yeah, for the other angels to say, this guy is done.
Can't. No, he can't work. He's gone. He's out.
John's apparently watching, and he's about to tweet at us, so be aware of that.
I can't remember. I accidentally logged out of my Twitter, and I don't know the password anymore, so...
We might get snarky John comments, is all I'm saying. It's like,
just read them out to me, because I can't see them.
Okay. Okay, so I know I've been asking a lot of questions, and this might fit a bit better into the world context, but it follows what we've been discussing. So as you can see, I've had a lot of confusion about this book of things, more than just what sort of pants the angels are wearing, whether they're mixed fiber. No. We never get basic information that everyone in this world would have about the beginning of the war. Because through the ending, I was still entirely uncertain of whether it was angels fighting angels in heaven, angels coming down originally to talk to humans, or angels coming down to just demolish humanity. Because there are a couple sentences put towards it. They're kind of vague, and it's never actually explained. Like, I don't understand what is going on in a world where we would at least have some basic information of, the angels came down like this is how people reacted, which we know, because Gabriel got shot. And then she's like, maybe they would have been, like, less mean to us then. But we have no idea what this initial contact was like, how things spiraled from there, and how anything has gone on.
You mean, like, why Gabriel came down? Because
Yeah.
he was, the implication is he was shot before he could explain.
Well, yeah,
and
but...
apparently none of the other angels knew.
Did he just do a two-step shuffle down in his mouth and get shot?
Nobody knows!
And
That's
then-
the mystery!
No.
somebody would know there were people there. There has to be people there.
If,
Didn't get shot
somebody
and all
shoots
the angels
Gabriel.
Go
before he
berserk.
gets to stay.
What is going on with this war? Yes, please. Take
Okay,
it.
if Gabriel gets sent down direct from God, no consulting with the other angels, then he gets shot before he can say what it is he wants to say, nobody's going to know what the fuck's happening.
Yes, because there was suddenly a war and all of humanity was destroyed.
Yeah, because they
There
shot
was
an
more than
angel.
a step between those two
Because
things.
somebody reacted badly.
No, I mean, but it's not, though, because basically Gabriel was the Archduke Ferdinand. Like, he got shot, and the angels were like, because that's what they said, that Gabriel never told them what they were supposed to do. So Gabriel got shot, and they were like, well, descending and killing these mofos. Bye-bye.
There seems to be logic between those two things, though, because if he's coming down to just talk, and he has then he gets shot. It makes sense that eventually they would start killing things, I guess. But we don't understand the actual series of events, and we are never told this when these are things we have no reason not to know.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I just took it as two very simple chain reactions from dumbass human nature with our big guns. Like, I mean, that's
They
just,
see a big flying object, let's shoot it.
Doesn't that deserve more than 2 sentences?
Yes, but I figured, and I mean, I could be wrong about this, I haven't read the sequels, but I just automatically assumed that what actually happened in that would have to come back later on. In, like, you know what I mean? It just seemed to be something that would come back and be a bigger part of a plot that didn't fit into this book.
I bet you what's happening here is that it's actually going to turn out to be some kind of plot to assassinate Gabriel by somebody in heaven or some of the demons, and that they actually manufacture this, and Gabriel was never shot by a human, and it was actually an angel, or an angel controlling a human. I bet you that's what's going to happen.
He was also shot with an ice bullet. Yes, you're probably right, actually.
Oh, shut up!
No, I'm serious. You're probably actually right, because that's like how these things are arranged.
Yep.
But ice bullets don't actually work.
That was a JFK assassination joke. It was a bit in poor taste, but that's
Because they couldn't find a bullet, so it was made of ice and it melted when it hit body temperature.
Yes, thank you.
That, and there were multiple shooters.
Temperature. Okay, we're not here to discuss ice bullets and how they're not realistic.
The whole thing was staged. JFK never actually died.
So wait, whose bits of brain was covering his wife then?
Okay, you know what?
A lookalike from Hollywood. Gosh.
Hold on, Gretchen, are you gonna rein this in?
Yes, guys, come back to me.
No.
I have nothing new to
Ice
say.
bullets, run away!
Be quiet.
Don't touch me.
Anything else? I don't have anything else to say.
I don't. Like I said, I feel like I really wanted this book. I really wanted this book to be so much better than it was, because I really wanted to be able to stand here and be like, I'm just gonna, you know, talk about YA, you know, and really defend it all the way through. But I mean, I can't. I will put up with bad characters. I will put up with iffy plot. I will put up with so-so world building if I believe in an idea enough. But where you lose me is shitty writing.
Yeah.
Disappointed 2 times in 1 sentence. That's where you just go, no!
Oh, I'm sorry. I am an English and writing major, and I might be a really bad one that like can't, you know,
Basic,
hold
basic
up
writing
to,
skills.
you know, Michaela and Taylor's. Oh man.
Hey, man. You've
I
liked
mean,
a lot
all
of
my
my
humming
choices.
and hurrying is correct, so...
I need like a fake mustache that I could just pull out of nowhere and I just twirl it and go, right at this moment. 'Cause that's what I
That's
felt I
often
needed
what
to do,
Taylor does during book club.
is twirl his mustache.
Yes.
Oh,
Taylor and I might be book snobs, but
you're totally book snobs.
Thank you, Anna.
I mean, my main
No,
rant
I've had to
here
deal
was
with them
about
for years.
gender
I understand where you
representation.
feel.
So, on a book starring with a female protagonist by a female author that reinforces very negative female stereotypes.
Yes, that makes me sad.
Mentality.
I'm not gonna argue with you there. It makes me sad. What?
No, I mean, I'm not gonna, in this particular instance, I'm just saying that you guys always have...
Stop vibrating!
that's John, by the way.
What is John saying to us? Tell me what John is saying.
Thank God Anna's here to explain the 2-step shuffle. Bullets work on angels. Hashtag World War Heaven? Question mark.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
That's strong.
That's John. Oh, John. I've missed it.
Alright, well, I've got the worst of it out of my system. I'd rather just leave it behind me.
So here's what I'm going to say about the book snob thing. I don't mind when Gretchen doesn't like the things that we like. I do mind when books are bad. It's fine to have different opinions. Bad books should be edited so that they're not bad books. Like, all this needed was editing. And somebody say, these things are inconsistent. Literally, that's one of the things an editor is supposed to do. Make sure that you don't go to bed on Sunday night and wake up on Tuesday. That's like just one of the things. And nobody seems to have done that.
And I am a book snob in a different way, for different books and different things, but I still agree. I still agree. I was reading this book, and I was just like, I feel like I've been hit with an ice bullet in the heart repeatedly, again and again and again.
Is this gonna be like a thing now? Ice bullets?
For this
Yes.
hangout, yes.
Okay, I can work with that. Okay, I am not a book snob because I have to read like books twice before I realize why they're problematic because I'm just that oblivious. But
And again,
yeah, no, you are right. This book
You've
is
literally stopped reading books because they were so bad. Like, you've
Yeah, no,
literally
it-
handed them back to me and said, no, I'm not reading
well,
this.
yeah,
It is
because
bad.
you have this great tolerance for terrible writing styles, like that book with the ghost and the molesting. That book, you remember that book? That was a terrible book.
The only reason I was able to sit through that, though, was because I found it funny.
Yeah, but it wasn't even funny. I stop vibrating. No, it
We're
wasn't even
far
funny.
before.
This ghost randomly grabs her boob, and they're in New Orleans.
Okay,
and they're saying
okay,
things that
Anna.
was just.
Anna,
I'm
Anna.
sorry, it was bad. It was really bad. It was terrible.
Well, I think it's like bad movies. There are some movies that you
Hang
watch
on.
because they're
What?
bad, and there are some movies that you have to stop watching because, oh my god,
Sorry.
it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom says hi, and she's telling me to be quiet.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
And
You'd say hi to.
she's gone.
Well, too bad. She was
Anyways,
doing
what I
great
missed?
operating.
What did I miss?
That was it. It was you ranting, and the rest of us.
Laughing? You trying to shut me up? You're breaking up.
Oh, Michaela. I guess
Oh,
it's
no.
about time.
Michaela? Michaela? Is she gone?
Alright, well, do we...
Well-
I mean, we kind of skipped... I mean, no, we didn't really skip over it, because we talked about characters. And we
Mhm.
definitely talked about the world.
Yeah.
And our favorite and our least favorite parts. So, I mean, if Michaela drops out now, it's probably just
I'm
about
right
Basically covered
fine.
everything.
I'm right
Okay.
here.
Oh, wait, there she
We're
is.
cutting it.
Michaela!
I've been here. My computer can't stand this for much longer, so we might as well just.
Yeah.
We were wrapping up anyway.
Yeah. Next week, not next week, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be talking about Skin Trade by Laurel K. Hamilton. It is book number 17 in the Anita Blake series.
I love that book.
I know. I made a video wherein I sort of give you an introduction to the world and the characters, so that if you are worried about starting at book number 17, despite my choosing a book that stands alone plot-wise, like you want to know about the characters in the world, because there's less world building, because it's not a first book, you can watch my video and learn all about the world and the characters and what you need to know. It will be linked in the description, as well as on our Twitter and all of that stuff. Yes.
Yes.
Where can people find you guys
Oh, wait,
individually
wait.
on the internet again, just in case they want to?
Ah!
Alright, Anna.
Apparently my phone decided to stop. Stop
Oh.
being
Okay.
a phone. It doesn't like me very much. Phone, why are you not phoning?
Anna, we're
It's fine. Just
signing out.
just do the
I know.
thing.
Just shh.
Okay, I'm Gretchen from the blog My Life is a Notebook, which is adkwriter15.wordpress.com. And in lieu of the discussions that we've been having lately, I have just started a new feature called Worth It Wednesdays, where I list once a week one YA title or series that is worth reading. So, you can follow that. And I would like to point out that the one that I chose for my first ever post was the alternate I gave y'all for this title, and you were like, no, Angelfall sounds better. So,
To be fair, it did sound better. Also, that book is like 700 pages. I'm not reading that.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's so long. It's like this thick.
No, it's not.
From what I've
have
seen
the
of people's hardbacks.
No, it's okay. Maybe it's bigger than I think it is. I like big books. Anyways, but I'm also ADKWriter15 on Twitter. I'm My Life is a Notebook on Facebook, and Gretchen Homeyer on Goodreads. I'm done.
Oh, are you kidding, Taylor? Anna has 2 Tumblrs. Right?
I have the Dungeon of Bad Decisions, a D&D blog on Tumblr, and a crush on Esmeralda. All one word is my personal Tumblr. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not giving out that because fuck you and the internet, and I don't love you.
Well, that's right. I have a Tumblr too.
You do have a Tumblr. Good for you.
Shockingly, it's been linked in the description despite you not talking about it. Hi, I'm Michaela. Like I said, I have a blog, PodOmatic.wordpress.com, where I talk about books and comics and K-pop occasionally, although the K-pop takes so much more time and is more sparse than everything else. Yes. Also, again, I'm doing the BookTubeathon, so I'll have a bunch of posts this week on my Instagram and stuff, and all of my links are down in the description. You just click on them and you can follow me. I'm Pied Piper Calls everywhere.
Love us. Follow us. watch us forever.
Tomorrow,
Alright.
before
Taylor.
Taylor says that. Before you go.
What?
Before you go, hold on. Tomorrow, Pendragon stream. We're talking about the reality book, book number 4. Yeah, that's another thing. I almost forgot, but that's another thing. Now you can go, Taylor.
Thank you. My Twitter is etgreenwood, where generally I ask about Google Fiber in heaven and things like that.
And you should really follow us all individually on Twitter, because if you don't, you miss Taylor and I having a smackdown earlier, and Michaela's A+ use of GIFs. So
Yeah, we're really a bundle, you know. The sum
Nerves and English.
is greater.
A+ stuff. Alrighty.
Yes.
Gretchen and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully with Casey, but the show will go on without her if she's still feeling ill. And then we'll meet in 2 weeks to talk about Anita Blake.
bye, folks.
Annyeong.
Bye.